All right, y'all, we here to talk about this shit, man. The shit that I feel like we shouldn't even have to talk about, but we do need to talk about because I realize the lack of it, and that's intelligence. Now, again, when I say intelligence, I'm talking about the ability to accurately perceive your own reality, man. For us to be able to learn from the things that you're going through, be able to learn from patterns and understand how to not repeat them, understand how to communicate effectively, understand that it's not best to assume things, to only go based off of facts and observation of the things that you have seen, if the, you know what I mean, the things that the data you have gathered from observing whatever you're observing or whatever. You know what I mean? It's not about how much you know. It's not about how many degrees you have, right? It's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, how much books you read. Of course, books, I love books. Yeah, I know that. But and how many books you read can, enhance your intelligence. But it's not if you're not reading books that's actually teaching you how to communicate, showing you effective ways to communicate, how to understand patterns in your life and stuff like that, then you're not enhancing your intelligence. You're just getting more smart, right? Yeah, and there's a difference. I'm smart. Yes, I know math. I know arithmetic. I know science and all of that stuff. But am I really intelligent? And for me, how I look at it, intelligence again, it's like I said, it's how we communicate, how we go about our day to day, right? How we know how to take steps versus knowing how to be patient and when to be patient, right? Knowing, just knowing how to be present, knowing how to be aware, right? And knowing how to be connected, right? That's what I'm talking about when I talk about intelligence. And I see that a lot of people lack that shit, right? And how do they lack intelligence? Because it's something that we're doing every day and it's something that is causing our decline, right? I believe that the lack of intelligence is the reason why we're facing so much deaths. You know what I mean? A lot of, we got the gender war, right? So many people are dying. So many people are at war. So many people are at conflict. People, relationships dying, relationships ending. You know what I mean? People just making the wrong decisions for themselves. People constantly going through things that they don't prefer. Constantly allowing things to keep them sick, keep them stagnant, right? And keep them wherever they at rather than help them move forward and evolve, right? And then people see certain things, they get certain things that satisfy their dopamine levels for a little bit, and then right after that, because they don't understand, like, things come and things go, things have its time, right? And then enjoy things in the moment and then move on. They don't understand the necessary process of moving on, right? And that takes intelligence, moving on from things that don't serve you instead of keep going back to it, trying to, you know what I mean? I just see so much moves from people that are close to me and people that I observe, that I'm like, damn, this isn't the most intelligent way. And you ask my friends, ask my family, I call it out all the fucking time. Like, if I see you lacking, I'm gonna let you know, and I expect the same, right? Because if I could dish it, right, then I could receive it, right? And that's how it needs to be. That's intelligent. Anything you put out, be open and be ready to accept back in. So let's talk about the idea of the lack of intelligence. Now, another way to put it, right, for the sensitive minds out there, is a reactive mind versus conscious mind. The conscious mind is on the right hand side, the intelligence side, and the reactive mind is on the left hand side, the lack of side, right? It's lacking. And as you can see here, you got this motherfucker right here. He's sad. He don't know what to do. He thinks that everything that's happening in life is happening to him, right? It's just to him. It's just not anything that's coming from him. He thinks everything is unfair. Relationships are unfair. He doesn't understand how things are going. And anytime somebody tries to reason with him or talk to him, he lashes out. He doesn't want to hear anything they have to say, right? And it's not like he's coming with facts or anything like that. He's not even let them finish speaking. And that's why you see over here, they're just there listening because they understand. They have compassion for this brother right here. They have compassion, right? So they see how this brother out here is just going all hell because he got a unibrow and he doesn't know what the fuck to do. And he's yelling, yelling because he feels like he has a point to prove. But he understands there's no point to prove, man. You know what I mean? We could be aware of our current state of being, but let's talk about how we're going to progress from it, right? Let's not stay in there. Let's not make excuses for it. You see, even this brother right here, see, just calm. He's resting. He's meditating. He's knowing that. Listen, I'm going to focus on the kind of energy that I'm going to have within myself because I understand that any energy that I carry within me is going to reflect in the experiences I have in my reality, right? It's what my outside, my external me is going to see, right? So think of this person as that conscious mind, and this one here is the lack, right? He looks like he lacks, right? This is how you look when we lacking, right? I mean, sometimes you're like, well, I'm thinking, well, I like to look like this when I'm thinking. And sometimes we could be walking and looking like this, but you know what I mean? Why? It's because a lot of times the thoughts are keeping us low. We're having negative thoughts. We're having limited beliefs, and that's what keeps us having this kind of expression, right? And then we have this kind of expressions are in the mind, and then boom, it expresses outside like this chaos, right? So what happens over here? Over here, this individual likes to blame others, right? He thinks that life happens to him, right? Reacts before thinking, right? Driven by emotion at the moment, right? Seeks excuses, right? Avoids accountability, right? Focuses on problems, takes criticism personally, right? And that's why he's yelling like that. He takes criticism personally. Can't tell him shit, right? Wants immediate gratification, wants it right now, right? And argues to be right rather than having a conversation, having a dialogue to understand the facts and coming with the facts. See, that person is not a reasonable person. That person, that's something that someone that you can actually talk to. I've been that person. That's how I know. Also, I've been that person, right? Blaming things outside of myself, not understanding that the things I'm experiencing in my life is coming from within me, right? Seeking excuses, or it got to be because of this, it got to be because of that, it got to be because of that, right? Reacting, right? I was very reactive, right? Like I was driven by emotion, by my emotions so many times, and I've argued to be right, right, rather than to be understanding and listening to other people, right? I took criticism very personally because I had insecurities that I was not dealing with, right? I did not really check, right? So much insecurities is over here, right? But what goes on right here, right? What happens when you enter this type of mind? What happens when you enter this type of state and you cash your net over to the right side, like Jesus said, right? Over here, this individual knows how to take responsibility. And you understand that life happens through them, for them, all right? Through them, for them, right? They think before responding. He's thinking. He's not trying to yell out. He's not trying to, he's allowing him to do all of that shit. But he right here, he's thinking. But he's also having compassion. That's the face of compassion right there. Yeah, I can see it. He's having compassion, right? Looks, uses reason alongside emotion. It's not to cancel the emotion. The emotion is real. We're going to feel emotions. We're fucking human beings. But using reason with it, right? Understanding the root of a problem, right? Understanding where the emotions are even coming from, right? And why they're even trying to show up that way and how they're showing up that way. The individual looks for solutions, right? They accept accountability, focuses on opportunities rather than the problem, right? Because this person right here, you ever had a situation? There's so many times. That's why I got tired of talking to people, yo. Because you try to tell people tell you about their problem, and then you give them the real. Like for me, I can't sugarcoat shit, bro. Like now that I understand how the structure of existence work and shit, I cannot sugarcoat it for you. I'm going to give you the real. Everything that's happening to you is coming from you. So anything you're going through that you don't like, you need to check your stuff. You need to check your own vibration, your own thoughts, your own inner awareness, right? Your own feelings about yourself. But a lot of people don't want to hear that. They think it's me. No, I'm perfectly fine. I'm great. I'm resonating perfectly. There's nothing wrong with me. No, no, no. I don't understand how I'm attracting this though. But I am attracting this. This is entering into my reality. I am experiencing these things, but it can't be anything wrong with me. How the hell could I attract that when I'm all great and fine? No, the fuck you're not. Obviously you're not. Right? You're lying to yourself. Right? Delusion can be helpful to an extent. Right? It can be, because with delusion is it's in the process of attracting things and manifesting things where you put yourself in the state of being of that thing, right? Even if you right now in that moment, it's not like you're not a millionaire or you're not doing a career job that you seek to have, or you know what I mean? You put yourself in that frequency and that idea, and you start performing as the person or as the individual who has that thing already, right? As your version of the version of yourself, right? That already has it. It's like tapping into a different timeline version of yourself who already has whatever you're trying to have. Because if you could think it, you could dream it, you could wish it, it exists somewhere in the fucking realms of reality. You just gotta pull it to your reality. And that's how it works. That's what delusion does. But then you have another side of delusion, right? The ignorant side of delusion, the lack of intelligence side of delusion, where it's like you refuse to acknowledge how life works. You refuse to acknowledge the laws of the universe and the laws that operate within your own body, right? You refuse to acknowledge the fact that you have a vibrational field around you, right? That expands and gets smaller, right? That attracts things and repels things, right? And it is all channeled by your own inner emotions, your own inner ideas, your own inner belief systems, right? This is a fact. But when you try to tell people that, because what that does, It brings them to a place that's uncomfortable for them. It brings them into that quiet space, that dark space where they literally have to be face to face with God, right? And now they have to take accountability. Now they have to really look at themselves and really see themselves, and they can't, and they hate to do that, right? So they always try to make excuses. They always try to put blame on something else outside of them to explain what's going on around them within their vortex, within their reality. That's unintelligent, right? And again, this intelligent person, right? The conscious mind learns from criticism, right? Learns from them, right? Rather, but over here on the left hand side, they take it personally. You can't tell them about themselves to try to help them, because anytime I'm telling you about yourself, I'm like, yo, that shit ain't right, or like, yo, the way you moving is wild and it's fucking yourself up. It is not good for you. Some people don't want to hear that because they think they got it all figured out. They smart as hell. They smart as hell, even though they keep making dumbass decisions. Even though they keep telling you about the shit that's going on in their life that they don't prefer, but they keep attracting these things into their life, but they're all perfect and fine and well, right? They don't want to take the criticism. Because they don't take the criticism, they're not able to grow. They're not able to evolve. It stunts their growth, right? This individual understands delays gratification with greater rewards. Greater rewards. And you understand there is a process in everything. There is a process. I understand you might not like the things you're doing or whatever. If you're doing something you don't like, I hope it's a real good reason you're doing that. But if you're doing something and if it's also aligned, even if it is aligned with something you do like, but then you're noticing that the results are not happening as fast as you wish them to happen, keep working, keep going, stay consistent, stay persistent, believe in it, believe in yourself, man. Because when you want immediate gratification, you don't believe in yourself. You don't believe in the natural flow of things. There's a natural ebb and flow rhythm to this whole fucking creation, and we have to respect it, regardless of what you say. It's going to be here. Before we've been here, it's going to be here after we gone. You feel me? And seeks truth over ego, right? The ego wants to always be right. The ego can never be wrong. And to the ego, there is no wrong. But we all have been wrong. I get wrong. I get things wrong. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still evolving, right? And we have to accept that. Right? Don't matter how many degrees you have, bro. Like degree shit is bullshit. You know how many people want to know what college degrees are dumb as hell? Like for real, right? Don't know how to communicate, can't contain their emotions, always spazzing out, consuming the most toxic things into their body, and toxic communications, toxic ideas, toxic belief systems, limiting belief systems, fear-based ideas, fear-based belief systems, and they're accepting this shit into their life, but they have all these degrees, but they're not smart enough to understand the things they're accepting and the things they're choosing are the things that's dictating how their reality is flowing. They can't see that. But that's the difference between intelligence and lack of. And here's another thing. It's not just me saying it. Go to your Bibles. Open up your little Bibles and go to Proverbs chapter 14, verse 29. Whoever is slow to anger has great understanding, but he who has a hasty temper exalts foolishness. And not just there. Let's look at the Gathas from Zoroastrianism. Their book they call the Yasna. Chapter 30, verse 2. Hear with your ears the highest truths. Consider them with enlightened judgment. The Bhagavad Gita, right? Says from anger comes delusion. From delusion, loss of memory. From loss of memory, destruction of intelligence. It literally says it in the Bhagavad Gita. It is the destruction of intelligence. And the Bible tells you straight in your face, if you can't understand how to control your emotions, if you have no emotional intelligence, you are straight up, bluntly, no way around it, no sugarcoating it. You're a fucking fool, right? But yo, this is what happens, man. You gotta think about it, man. Imagine this person here on the left sees some dominoes and they're kicking the dominoes down, talking about why me, because something just didn't go right. And then you got the person on the right who comes through and sees the dominoes all tumble down and shit, and rather than have an assumption about what's going on, right? Or even, react in a frustrating manner, like, damn, what the hell? These were our dominoes, or these were my dominoes. Why the fuck you kick them down? He starts picking them up, putting them back in place, and starts asking, well, what caused this? What caused this? Right? Looking at the root. And that's what we got to do, man. So that's the difference between having intelligence and not having intelligence. The difference between the conscious mind and the reactive mind. All right. I hope y'all get it. I hope it resonated. I hope a seed was planted. I might do some more of this shit. Like, I really love this topic because I feel like this topic is, even though I talked shit about it in the beginning, I think it's important because it's about helping people get out of their program mind. At the end of the day, I talk shit, but at the end of the day, it's about helping people. It's about waking people up, right? And I do it in a way that I feel like y'all can connect with it, y'all can resonate with it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna act like I'm not from Brooklyn. I'm not like I'm not from the streets, like I don't have history. You feel me? So I'm not about to just start talking a whole different way, whatever. No. And so, because I want to show y'all, like, regardless of where we from, regardless of what we've been doing in the past or whatever, you feel me? Consciousness is available to everybody. Intelligence is very available to everybody. We got access to all of these books, bro. Like, we got access to all of these books, bro. We could all grow. We could all evolve. We could all learn. Learning never stops just because we left school. You know what I mean? Just because you left school doesn't mean you're just here to just work for the rest of your life, slave for the rest of your life. Continue to grow. Continue to evolve yourself, right? Continue to challenge yourself, right? And that's what I present. All right. So, like I said, I hope the seed was planted, y'all. Until next time, Hood Scholar out. Peace.